It's episode 14, but it might be the biggest one yet. I'm Jimmy Allen. That's Alex Drake. This is the Roll Jays podcast brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing. It doesn't get much bigger than the big man in the middle. Ryan Kalkbrenner, Creighton Center, comes back this year. He comes to the Roll Jays podcast today. You're going to catch him coming up next. We're also going to talk to Jackson McAndrew, the number 38th ranked player in the country right now. As of right now, Creighton's biggest recruit to date in school history. Creighton assistant coach Ryan Miller joins us to wrap up the show, talk about all things going on inside the Jays program as we roll towards the season. But before we get there, not only do we have Jackson McAndrew in the boat, and obviously Ty Davis, who we caught up with a couple weeks ago, but tomorrow, Alex, we're going to hear from Larry Johnson. He's the number 98th ranked player in the country right now, out of Southern California Academy out there on the West Coast. He's down to Virginia Tech, Mississippi State, Illinois, Missouri, and as well the Creighton Blue Jays. Right now, 24/7 Sports On 3 and Rivals all have Larry Johnson forecasted to Creighton. We talked to this coaching staff, and they said maybe 1-2 guys. A little surprising you the fact that we might have 3 recruits in this, and they might not be done in this 24 class?
A little bit here and there. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely interesting when – you're thinking 1, 2, maybe 3, but now we're talking about potentially 4 because I don't think Larry Johnson's the last guy that they want to try and land if possible.
Sure doesn't sound like it, yeah.
But at the same time, like in the world of recruiting, the coaches have said this numerous times, things can change in a hurry, whether you have guys leave that you don't expect to leave and you hit the portal hard, or in this case, you just have – some really good players that might want to come play for you that you really can't turn down.
It's so much was made about Mac's comment 2 years ago about building through the draft versus free agency, meaning building through high school versus the transfer portal. And we've even talked to the assistants, and they said, okay, yeah, we've pivoted on that a little bit since then. But how much of that was because you did get Ryan Nembhard, Arthur Kaluma, Trey Alexander, all in the same recruiting class. Kind of what you have going on here. 3 guys that are all top 100 caliber players, all saying yes at the same time. It's kind of hard to turn down that level of player when you've seen the transfer portal work against you. When you have guys like Kaluma and Nembhard choosing to leave the program after making an Elite Eight.
Yeah, I mean, you just never know what you're going to get, and when you can, like you said, when you can get 3 top 100 kids coming in all at the same time, and you just had a pretty good round of success with that.
Yeah.
And you also know at any given point you can lose somebody, and then you can go get a proven player out of the portal. Like, yeah, we're going to lose several players at the end of this year to the NBA draft or to graduation, whatever it is. Well, you got to backfill that with young talent, and this team's loaded with young talent too, by the way. Like, there's a ton of young guys on this team that are very good. If you can keep backfilling that and then picking off 1 or 2 immediate needs out of the portal instead of trying to get 3 guys out of the portal, I think that's a better way to sustain success ultimately.
Yeah, I do too. And I think if you sat this coaching staff down, and more importantly, Greg McDermott down and said, how do you want to do this? He would say, I want to be a developmental program first. I want to bring in guys that want to be here long-term, 3 to 4 year guys, not one and done guys, and have sustained success versus – hey, it's a frenzy. We have 2 open starting spots. Let's rush out and see who we can get now and piece this thing together by the time the ball rolls out in November. I don't think that's how Greg McDermott wants to do it. I don't think that's how this coaching staff wants to do it. And if given the opportunity, I expect to see more 3 and 4 person recruiting classes versus 3 and 4 person transfer portal classes going forward. I think last year was a little bit of an anomaly, and when you have success to a level that a program like this never has. I mean, for as much success as Mac has had since he's been here and other places, he's never had this level of success. And I think learning how to manage that locker room after that was a bit of a learning curve for this entire coaching staff.
Yeah, I mean, I think you see it going into last season, right? Like, there were points in time last year early, granted, you have the issues with Kalkbrenner being sick, but there was just times where it seemed like guys didn't know where they fit on this team at that time. And we've heard the coaches talk about a guy like Stephen Ashworth, who is as comfortable off the ball as he is on the ball, which just makes you so much more lethal when you can kind of play positionless basketball. And you can let a guy like Trey Alexander or Baylor Sharman handle the ball a little bit more, and your point guard and Stephen Ashworth can go spot up for a three.
It's going to make this offense more interesting, in my opinion, too. And this isn't shade at Ryan Nembhard. We've got an affinity for Ryan Nembhard, but
yeah,
he just wasn't as good off the ball as he was on the ball. And it seemed like at times this offense got pigeonholed in because he was so dynamic with the ball in his hands. How much different is this year going to look compared to last year? And if they don't make an Elite Eight run, does that get kind of the scapegoat treatment of, okay, well, you didn't have Ryan Nembhard's explosive ability to score the basketball with that underhand layup or playing off his right-hand dribble to create a shot for himself. I think Stephen Ashworth can do all that, but I mean, if they do come up short of an Elite Eight, which isn't saying much, is that something that kind of gets the noose hung around its neck?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you're definitely going to miss some parts of Nembhard's game. Like, it's been a long time since we've had somebody as explosive as him in terms of their ability to get to the rim. And I don't know if you're going to be able to replace that part of it this year. But you're also adding, we've talked about Arthur Kaluma, and I loved Arthur Kaluma. I was a big Kaluma guy. But at a certain point, it was kind of like square peg, round hole, right? With him, not an elite shooter. And you're kind of replacing that with Mason Miller and Isaac Trout. And you're just getting a better overall fit for this team across the board. And that's not a knock on those guys. I can't reiterate
No,
that
yeah. They had a tremendous amount of success. It just, at times, that's why March is so special, right? Because you can have all these pieces that don't necessarily fit together, but if they jive for 6 games, you're hanging a banner. So it's one of those things that makes college basketball so unique. What makes this show unique is the guests we have on, and we've got a great list coming up for you. Ryan Kalkbrenner, Creighton's centerman, comes in next. We got Jackson McAndrew, number 38 ranked player in the country. Follow him. Ryan Miller, the assistant coach at Creighton, wraps up all this. I'm Jimmy Allen. That's Alex Drake. You're going to see us wearing a bunch of different clothes in a bunch of different settings, but we hope you enjoy the show. This is the Roll Jays podcast, brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing. Creighton's big man defensive player of the year, Ryan Kalkbrenner. We come back here on the Roll Jays podcast.
Do you need a customized online marketing plan and creative campaigns to help scale your business and achieve goals in 2023? Pixel Fire Marketing can not only help you achieve those goals, but we will help you crush them this year. Pixel Fire Marketing lives and breathes digital marketing. Pixel Fire Marketing has experts in strategic content creation, social media marketing, and website development. Check out Pixel Fire Marketing today and attack marketing in 2023.
Welcome back inside the Roll Jays podcast, brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing. Jimmy Allen, Alex Drake, now joined by one of the top recruits in the country right now, Jackson McAndrew, Creighton commit, is joining us here on the podcast. Jackson, thank you very much for your time today.
Yeah, thank you for having me on.
You're listed anywhere between 35 and 93, depending on where you look at which recruiting site. When I say one of the top 100 players in the nation, what does that mean to you?
I think it's definitely something that I've worked hard for my whole life, and especially this summer to have a lot of those ranking sites finally put me in there. It's been very cool to see.
Jackson, as you progress towards your senior year starting here, what are some of your goals for the season, personally and team wise?
Yeah, first the main goal would be to win state again. Go back to back with something that is very important to me, and just winning a lot of games with the team. And then personally, I think just the main thing is just getting better, preparing for college, working on all parts of my game, and then Gatorade Player of the Year, Minnesota Mr. Basketball will be cool as well. But yeah, those other things are important.
You mentioned the improvement portion of it, and we talk to a Creighton assistant coach each week. Is that something they've talked to you about? Is, hey, here's an aspect of your game we'd like to see improve on before you get to campus?
Yeah, they have, and they've helped me with things to do. But just the main thing, just getting better all around, and especially in the weight room as well, getting better strength and athleticism-wise.
What part of your game would they like to see you improve on the most before you do get on campus?
I think just fine-tuning everything. Obviously can already shoot it really, really well, but just working on the other parts of my game too, and just getting everything, just fine-tuning everything and getting better defensively as well.
What today, as you're looking ahead to your season, what is kind of I don't know, your hallmark or your staple to your game that you really pride yourself on?
I think shooting, but also just being a team player and a guy that is going to help you win games and do everything that you need him to do to win.
You had pretty much the pick of the litter when it comes to offers. They came from all across the country. You settled on Creighton and decided to pick the Jays. What was it about Creighton and Omaha that attracted you so much to this program?
Yeah, I think the main thing was the coaching staff, the relationships I built with all of them. Been very strong, and then also the play style. I feel like it'll be a perfect fit for me and for them with how they play, and then the player development piece as well was big in the decision making.
We every time we talk
growing up.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
I was just gonna say I remember growing up and kind of modeling my game after guys in the league now. For me, it was even guys that had already retired. Who's kind of a guy in the league that you are trying to model yourself after, that you really look up to?
Yeah, I like taking a lot of pieces from any player that I can whenever I see, but I think the main guys that I try to take things from are KD and Jason Tatum. I watch a lot of film on them, and just seeing what they do. I like watching their games a lot and try to model mine after it.
The one thing we hear consistently
As a
from this
Celtics fan, I like the Tatum call.
The one thing we hear consistently from this coaching staff is how much different the pacing and the spacing is, and how much it takes recruits coming in to adjust to that. For you, is that something you've studied a little bit about Creighton? Have the coaching staff gone over that with you? And what do you expect as far as pace and running the floor when you actually get on campus?
Yeah, definitely something we've talked about before. Is one of the reasons why I picked it, because I really like the pace and how they play, with spacing and all that. I think that it will be a little bit of adjustment, but I think it's going to be something that's going to be really beneficial for me.
So right now, obviously you're getting ready for the next year, but you obviously play in the summer circuit. Who are some of the better players that you've had the opportunity to go up against on the summer circuit?
Yeah, I think the best players we played against were probably Dylan Harper. He was really good. So was Tahad Pettiford. And then Jerry Easter as well was really good.
Jackson McAndrew, Creighton commit at Wayzata High School in Minneapolis, joins us. Not a whole lot of a difference when it comes to weather from up there in Minnesota to down here in Omaha, especially when basketball season rolls around. What were some things that you saw when you came to Omaha that you liked about the city as opposed to just the college?
Yeah, I really like the city feel as a whole. Just being around that was really cool, and I really like the feel I got from it. Also, campus was very cool to me, and it's different without the football aspect that many colleges have. But it was also something that prioritized basketball a lot, and it's something that I thought was really important. Which I really liked.
You obviously had offers from places like Notre Dame, Stanford, Illinois, Iowa, Nebraska, all football schools. When you're going to a campus and it doesn't have that portion of, is that a plus for you, where you can be kind of the star of the show, essentially? Is that something that attracted you, or is that just kind of like second fiddle and just kind of something that was nice on top of everything else?
Yeah, I think it definitely, obviously it wasn't the first thought of why I picked the school, but it's definitely something that I thought was really cool about it. I mean, you do miss out on like those football game days, but I think most importantly, you're, like you said, the focus of the whole city, and prioritize it really well.
Being from Minnesota, that's a big outdoorsy state. When you're not playing basketball, what is kind of one of your go-to hobbies? Are you big into ice fishing or anything like that?
No, not really any of that. More just hanging out with family and friends, and just spending a lot of time in the gym. I do like to golf a little bit, though.
Is that the most stereotypical question to ask somebody from Minnesota?
Yeah.
Do you like to ice fish? Do you go to Canada ever? No, you don't have to answer that. Hey, you're one of two in this. You're one of two in this recruiting class. We've already talked to Ty Davis at all. How much of a relationship do you have with him?
Yeah, we've been building a relationship ever since, even a little bit before I committed. Just talking a lot, getting to know each other more into the relationship. I'm gonna be excited to build even more as well. I know we're going on a visit together for the Alabama game too. That'll be a lot of fun.
It's going to be electric for that one.
Great.
There's a couple guys in the next few days here making a couple decisions as well, and one being Larry Johnson. He's a point guard or shooting guard, from California. Have you guys done any peer recruiting and reached out to any guys that may be coming along with you to Omaha?
Yeah, he was one of the guys that I know we've talked about him playing with us and have reached out to him too about committing here. And yeah, if he does, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, he'll make that decision. We're filming this on Monday. He'll be making that decision on Thursday, and we'd love for Larry to be the next recruit that we're talking to as a commit for Creighton. How big of a deal is it for you and even Ty, if you want to speak on his behalf, to kind of have a group of your guys coming in with you to college?
I think it'll be important just to have a group of guys like that we probably know more than everyone else and help transition, because they're going to be coming from the same circumstances we are in high school, and it'll probably make it easier.
You come into a spot where Creighton, obviously, on paper, maybe losing a few guys, and there may be some early playing opportunities. Is that attractive to you, or are you just going to kind of try to come in and earn your spot when you get here?
Yeah, obviously nothing's given without you have to earn it all when you get there. But it definitely was something that I took into decision when making it, or is that there was a little bit of a playing early role open, and hopefully take advantage of that.
Who were some of the guys that are currently on the team that you kind of hung out with and spent time with while you were visiting?
I spent a lot of time with Fred and also Mason. And then those are probably the main guys. I was there last winter as well with them. Right. And then I got to meet some of the other guys as well when I was on the visit too.
Too bad they couldn't have worked out a visit for you to go to the Bahamas with them this
this
past week, 2 weeks ago.
That would have been sweet, yeah.
So what kind of insight do like your hosts give you into, some of their struggles that they had when they came in first, specifically a guy like Mason that we've seen make huge jumps lately?
Just a little bit, just adjusting to not only the college life, but like just the basketball side of it too. And like you guys said before, the pace of the game was definitely an adjustment. But other than that, it was pretty smooth transition.
If somebody listening to and watching this video right now doesn't know anything about Jackson McAndrew, if a Creighton fan is watching this right now, what are they getting in Jackson McAndrew, the player, and Jackson McAndrew, the person?
I would say a winner. And then also shoot the ball very well. High IQ basketball player. I think I handle it very well for my size too. Good passer. I also think I'm an underrated defender. I can affect around the rim and guarding too. And then also off the court, just a good person, good kid. Very kind.
That's Jackson McAndrew. He's top 100 player in the country as of right now. The highest rated recruit in Creighton history. Jackson, thank you very much for your time. Good luck this season. Maybe we'll catch up with you before you get on campus and talk to you while you're here.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for having me.
We'll be right back on the Roll Jays podcast talking more Creighton basketball and maybe a few more dogs barking along the way. We come back here on the Roll Jays podcast.
Do you need a customized online marketing plan and creative campaigns to help scale your business and achieve goals in 2023? Pixel Fire Marketing can not only help you achieve those goals, but we will help you crush them this year. Pixel Fire Marketing lives and breathes digital marketing. Pixel Fire Marketing has experts in strategic content creation, social media marketing, and website development. Check out Pixel Fire Marketing today and attack marketing in 2023.
Welcome back into the Roll Jays podcast, brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing. Legitimately, our biggest guest of all time joins us, Ryan Kalkbrenner, the center for Creighton, the two-time and reigning defensive player of the year in the Big East, joins us. You're a busy guy. You got a lot going on. We appreciate your time, sir. Thank you for being here.
Thank you guys for having me on.
It is absolutely our pleasure. We've been trying for a while, but we get with the schedule how that works for you guys. I'm sure we're the only podcast that's come calling, right?
It's a little crazy, but we figure out ways to make some things work.
Hey,
Not like he was just in the Bahamas either.
Yeah. You had a lot of decisions to make this offseason. You decided to come back to Creighton. What was the biggest catalyst for you coming back to play for the Jays this year?
I mean, just the big part of it was this is such a great situation. There was really no pressure to leave if it wasn't the perfect opportunity at the next level. Like, I know a lot of people, either their eligibility is up or, I guess in Steven's case, the reason he transferred because there's coaching changes or whatnot. But like here at Creighton, it's perfect. So if there's not the perfect situation for me in the NBA, then just come back for another year and try again next year. So it wasn't too hard of a decision at all.
Was that decision? Did your decision have anything to do with what some of the other guys did, like Baylor, like Trey? Were you guys talking about it all along?
No, I tried to stay away from talking to Trey and those guys about it because I know, like, for me, you're gonna have like a bunch of people in your ear or whatnot. I didn't want to add one more person in their ear. I wanted them just to be like, I was like, listen, man, like, make the best decision for you. If you got a great opportunity to go and be successful, I'm gonna be happy for you regardless. So I didn't really try to talk too much to them about it because I just want them to be in the best situation and them be happy. So yeah, that's pretty much how I tried to approach it with those guys.
Like I started off saying, you win 2 back-to-back Defensive Players of the Year in the Big East. What would it mean to you to win a third one?
I mean, it'd be really cool. I think I got my sights set on different stuff this year, like winning the Big East for one, because we've come so close and haven't been able to do it yet. So the individual awards are always pretty cool, but I mean, at this point in my career, there's other things I want to accomplish than that. But it'd definitely still be a huge honor to get it.
How, as you guys are getting ready and gearing up for the season, you've been here for a while now. How does so far this preseason kind of differentiate itself from past seasons?
I think one difference about this year is we're kind of an older team for the first time since my freshman year. Obviously, my freshman year, I came in with a lot of guys that were older, like Mitch Ballack, Marcus, Denzel, Damian, all those guys were older. And then my sophomore and junior years, we were just a really young team. And then this year, I'm a senior now, Trey's a junior, and Baylor's a fifth year, Steven's a senior. So it's like we got an experienced squad, and it's definitely a different feel going into preseason and heading into the year. You just got a bunch of guys who know what they're doing and kind of know what to expect from the program.
Has that taken any getting used to, or is it just the fact that there's so many guys that knows what's going on? It's just basketball as usual.
I mean, it's a different field than years before, but since you kind of like go through the process with these guys that getting to this point, so it kind of feels normal. Like third year with Trey, it feels like normal going into practice with him every day, even though we're both older now and we kind of approach things different because we have more experience. But it's pretty normal once you like go through all of it with the same guys.
I remember being an older guy on a team at a much lower level and getting frustrated with some of the new guys coming in and not being able to pick up things that come second nature to you later in your career. How hard is it for you guys to get those guys up to speed, or were they ready to go?
They've done a great job of picking up on things, and obviously they're not going to be perfect. They're freshmen. I remember my freshman year, my head was spinning. So, but they've been doing a really good job. I've been really impressed with the younger guys and the new guys picking up on things. So it really hasn't been too bad. As a leader, you try to be there to help them along the way to get it faster, but they've been great. They listen. They all want to be better. They're all here for the right reasons. So it's been great.
One of those younger guys that you've had to work with the past couple seasons has been Fred King. Obviously, he's a little bit newer to organized basketball. We got a big smile when he brought up his name. What's the relationship with Fred been like, and how has that dynamic worked between you two?
I mean, he's awesome. Like I just said about all the young guys being there for the right reasons and listening and working is all that. Like, he's doing some things this year that like he'll seal me on a drive or something like that. And I'm like, when you start learning how to do that, like all of a sudden he's a better player now. And it's been kind of awesome to see because especially at the same position as an older guy, you try to mentor the young players and help them get better. And when you see them grow, it's kind of awesome.
Last year, you obviously went through a tough stretch where you missed some games with an illness, and Fred was thrust into that starting role. How excited were you for him in those games where he really was able to show some success, and you were able to, be there to help him along?
Yeah, I mean, that was a great opportunity for him. And even like that was kind of early in the season last year, and he's so much of a better player now than he was at that time. And you could just see like when he knew it was like he had to play 25, 30 minutes a game, he was a little more locked in. You could see what he was really capable of doing. And it was really awesome for him to like see what he could do, and it helped build his confidence a lot. So it was a great opportunity for him, and he's definitely grown a lot from that.
So we've talked about a lot of the other guys. You're coming back for year 4. What is the part of your game that you really want to take the next step in and evolutionize yourself for the next level in this season?
I mean, I kept hearing from NBA teams like things I need to get better on: shooting the ball, getting bigger, stronger, being able to switch from time to time. I don't know how much we'll switch just because we're so good at drop coverage, but
Right.
definitely look to shoot the ball a little more. Been working a lot on that, so hopefully that'll shine through this year a little more. And then I've been doing a pretty good job putting on weight this offseason, so if I can keep that on, I'll be checking the boxes for all the things the NBA teams wanted to see.
We've seen a couple highlight videos of the 3 ball. How much have you improved on your shot behind the arc, and how much of a concentrated effort has that been?
I feel like I've gotten a lot better. Biggest thing for me, like I can go into a workout and like just one individual workout and shoot it really well, but then it's in live. I hadn't gotten comfortable yet, and this year I've gotten a lot better just being comfortable shooting in live, getting reps up in live. So I feel it's come a long way, and obviously it's been a huge focus point, because when you're in an individual workout, it's not really putting on weight, and you're not guarding switches. So that's the only other thing left to work on.
You earlier in July, you had a youth basketball camp. How did that go? And is that something you'd like to continue to do after you leave Creighton and move on from Omaha?
Yeah, I think we'll have to see. Like, obviously, I won't be in Omaha 24/7 like I am now. So, but I'd love to come back every now and then and do something, because this city has been so great to me while I've been here. I love it here, so I'd love to come back every now and then, maybe do a camp or something. It's been a lot of fun.
This is kind of
interesting. I'm sorry, Alex. This is obviously an interesting part of college, right? Is moving away from where you're from and kind of adapting to a new city. What has it been like to be in Omaha for this long? And does it feel like home yet, or is it still kind of just where you went off to college?
It feels like home. Like I don't know where I'll end up living after my basketball career, but I mean, a place like Omaha, or even Omaha itself, would be a great spot, because I don't know, I've just loved it here. It's not too big for me, not too small. It's great.
How does it compare to Florissant?
Florissant, it's kind of like just more suburb. It's not really that similar.
Gotcha.
I love Florissant and where I'm from, but Omaha has also been great to me.
So we kind of ask this question to everybody that comes on the show: coaches, players, writers, people who cover the team. It's a dumb question, but I'm going to ask it. What's your go-to spot to go grab something to eat after a game?
Oh, after a game, I have a hard time eating after workouts. Like, I get full really quick. Just terrible, because I need to keep on weight. But if it's just more like any day, a burger spot for me is Dinker's for sure. I think that would be a good one.
Just ate there yesterday, so I'm a big fan too. I grew up right up the street from there. She's already the MVP of this show, helping you get this set up. But you got some big news in your personal life. You got engaged just a few months ago. Do you guys have a date set, or do you know, or is that something you guys can worry about after you get done with school?
No, we got next summer is going to be the one, next August, and we got a date. We got a look venue picked out. Just booked a DJ yesterday, so the wedding planning is coming along.
Congrats, man! It's a big step. Both of us just recently got married in our own personal lives too, so we totally understand the struggle you guys are going through right now.
I'll tell you right now, the best advice we can give leading up to it is your opinion doesn't matter. Give it, but it doesn't matter.
I'd have told you to go to Vegas and just get it done with, save yourself some hassle, but.
whatever the missus wants makes her happy.
Yeah.
Just let her do it.
That's the right answer, by the way. Hey, you obviously, Alex alluded to, you went through a little bit of a struggle last year with the illness and stuff. How much of a mental hurdle was that for you personally to come back and get back on the court?
I don't know if it was a mental hurdle. Like, I was excited to come back, so I was really, really ready when I was cleared to come back. I think mentally, what the biggest thing that came from that was I got to kind of see our team from a different viewpoint because we were kind of like a vocal leader at the time, and I still didn't do a great job of it when I came back, but I think I did a little better of a job of being a vocal leader because I saw, like, from the sideline that we were kind of lacking that. So I think from a mental side, that was the biggest thing that came from having to sit out and having that illness.
So we may have heard from a little birdie when you guys were in the Bahamas and Trey tweeted out, "Don't poke the bear," that you might have been the instigator in that whole thing. Is that true?
I wouldn't call myself the instigator because it was definitely the other team. No, it was just one of those plays. They were the kind of team that, would put, like, throw in the little shoves, the little hooks, the little grabs and whatnot. So one of their players hooked me on, like, the first play of the game. So I'm like, it's the first play of the game. I'm not going to let you keep doing that the whole game. So I might have hooked them back on the next play. And
You might have.
might have also both gone to the ground after that because I might have taken him down with me. And then he didn't like that very much. So we were just jawing at each other the rest of the game.
That sounds something like that would happen in a rivalry, and obviously within Omaha and the confines of the state, there's a rivalry that's separated by about 45 minutes. What has the rivalry with Nebraska been like for you, and how excited are you to play in that game this year?
I'm very excited to play in that game because we let one get away from us last year, and they played well. So I need no discredit to them, but I really back this year because we owe them one after last year.
I've been writing some checks on that game, so don't let me down. You guys have played in so many great venues over your time here. I mean, the Big East is just loaded with them alone, but you guys have played in some cool places. What's your favorite venue that you've had the opportunity to play in during your time as a Blue Jay?
I mean, obviously outside of Omaha, one of my favorite ones is Marquette's because they play in the Bucks Arena. So there's this very high level arena. I kind of like St. John's Little Gym. Was it
up in Queens?
Gym? Yeah, because it kind of feels like a high school gym. There, everyone's like right on top of you. You got the New Yorkers just shouting at you from the stands during warm-ups, and it's kind of fun. I like it there.
You obviously recently went to the Bahamas, and you guys have had the luxury of going to Hawaii and several other locations. Do you have a favorite travel destination that you've been to off the basketball court?
When we went to Virgin Islands my sophomore year, it was probably my favorite. Kind of cheap because it's the Virgin Islands, for a little bit of vacation. But that was my favorite one that we've gone on.
That's cool.
That's Ryan Kalkbrenner. He's the big man in the middle for Creighton basketball, the defensive player of the year, back-to-back seasons, hoping for a third one, maybe even a regular season championship this year as well. Kalk, we appreciate it, buddy. Congratulations on all your success. We'll catch up with you down the road.
Yes.
We'll be right back in the Roll Jays podcast, catching up with a new Creighton player that just gave his commitment. We're going to talk to him when we come back here on the Roll Jays podcast, brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing.
Do you need a customized online marketing plan and creative campaigns to help scale your business and achieve goals in 2023? Pixel Fire Marketing can not only help you achieve those goals, but we will help you crush them this year. Pixel Fire Marketing lives and breathes digital marketing. Pixel Fire Marketing has experts in strategic content creation, social media marketing, and website development. Check out Pixel Fire Marketing today and attack marketing in 2023.
Welcome back into the Roll Jays podcast, brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing. We're joined again by assistant Creighton coach Ryan Miller. Coach, end of the summer, start of the fall. How were things for you and the family as a whole over the summertime?
Oh, it was awesome. We had a great summer. We were able to go to the Bahamas on a foreign tour, so the family went too. So all in all, great summer. Guys got better. Family's good. So excited for the fall and getting to the basketball season.
What was the biggest plus for you personally, when it comes to basketball for the trip to the Bahamas?
Just to be able to spend time with the guys in a, setting that's not so pressure packed. where every win matters, wherever practice, it's do or die. It was good just to be able to relax, have some good time with them, and then go out there and compete against some teams rather than yourself.
So disregarding the games, when you guys get back, you obviously are starting practice again. Who do you think grew the most just from the trip in general, not necessarily even with on the court stuff, just maturity wise? Did you see a lot of growth, I guess, is my question?
Yeah, I mean, my nephew Mason Miller is one of those guys that, he's going to step into a larger role, and he's going to have to be ready. So there's some of that growth and maturity coming there, and the guys like Kalkbrenner, Trey, and Baylor, those guys been there, done that a little bit. So they keep improving, keep getting better, and showing a lot of leadership skills. And then adding Stephen Ashworth, just being able to get on the court with him and playing in a competitive environment before the season helps out with team chemistry and team bonding and stuff like that. So a lot of guys are making jumps. Jason Green's making a little bit of jumps. So we're excited about what we see coming up when we start official practice September 26th.
When we're talking to you today, this will drop on Tuesday. We're talking to you the Friday before. We'll also just talk to Ryan Kalkbrenner. Him as a player, how much has he changed from when he first walked into this program to now? What do you think he's improved about his game the most?
Just maturity and physicality. I mean, he came here 220 pounds. He now weighs 260. Just growing up and becoming a man, and then just coming in every single day, working and striving to be the best player and best teammate he could possibly be. And he's just putting the bricks together day by day by day by day throughout the years. And, 2-time conference defensive player of the year is a testament to his work, really.
Going for 3.
Let's ask that same question about assistant coach Ryan Miller. What's different about you since the day you walked into the Creighton program to now?
Oh, just getting more familiar with the program. I knew the program pretty well on the outside. I knew Coach Mack for a long time. He actually coached against me when I was a player at Northern State University. When he was at Wayne State, knew the program, but then also getting to know the people around the community, around the program, and forming those relationships that go on for a long time. So the style of play, and understanding more of the concepts of it, and offensively and defensively, and then just being able to add my resources and my experiences on top of that. It's been good.
Coach, we've talked a lot about Stephen Ashworth this offseason, and a couple of other coaches and media members have talked about how well he's been able to integrate in the offense, specifically in situations maybe a little more off the ball, with Trey taking on some more primary ball handling roles. Do you think that there is any possibility that there would have ever been a better fit than what Stephen Ashworth has been? And has he surprised you in that ability a little bit?
Not really on the surprising thing, but once Ryan Nemhart left, we went in the portal, and Coach is very good. Coach Mack is very good at identifying fits, right? So whether it's the recruiting process of high school kids, transfers, we really try to hone in on fit. And not every kid can play here, and there are really good kids that really good talent, really good kids that can't. And we'll work, and we'll scour the internet. We'll talk to as many coaches as we can. We'll watch as much film as we can to really find that perfect fit. And Stephen Ashworth, we thought that all the kids available in the portal, he was just a perfect fit for Creighton. And him playing alongside Trey will be, an awesome deal. They'll be able to feed off each other together. Trey will be able to play make and help get Stephen some shots. And Stephen, with his shooting ability, will make sure that Trey has availability to penetrate in the lane, get paint touches.
When you guys have as much success as you've had, obviously an Elite Eight run a year ago, back made to Sweet 16 2 seasons ago, how difficult is it to look at it and say, okay, we have to change things as opposed to making it just repetitive from what it was a year ago?
Our philosophy right now is, just keep knocking on the door, right? Our goal here is to win a national championship, has not changed. And our philosophy is just keep making sure that we're in position to be in position every single year. And we've done it the last 3-4 years, 4 years running. I've only been a part of 2, but it's as an organization and as a team, they've done it the last 4 years, and keep knocking on the door and keep knocking on the door until the door comes in. And that's what we're going to try to do this year. Don't know how far we'll go. I know we're going to put a competitive team on the court come November 7th, and our goal is to be there right again in March and be knocking on that door, and hopefully, the shot goes in at the end of the game or foul's not called or whatever it is. But we want to be in position to be in position, if that makes sense.
Does that mean the success of the last 2 years is just all Ryan Miller then?
No, because they went before I was here.
Hey, let's give them the credit.
Yeah. Before I was here, they're probably going to be a 2 seed in the COVID year, right? So who knows how that would have played out? They go Sweet 16, the first Sweet 16 in program history. Then we go 32 with that freshman team with Trey and Nemhart and the guys.
Hey, none of those
narrowly lose to the national champions in Kansas.
We're a bucket away from winning that game, and they didn't go on and win the national championship. And then last year, 1 point away from going to the Final Four. So, like I said, our philosophy, just keep knocking on that door, baby. Keep knocking on that thing until it blows in. And we think it's going to eventually blow in, and we're going to have a lot of success and hopefully be able to cut down some nets and hang a banner.
None of those guys are here. None of those guys are here with a mic. I was just trying to give you a platform.
Coach, I've had this talk a lot with a lot of fans in recent years. Like, for a long time, there was a complaint about Creighton not getting past the round of 32. But in March, more so than any time of the year, in my opinion, it's about the draw in the tournament, and it's about the matchups. And for years they played Duke and North Carolina in the first 2 rounds, like when they were at the top. So, can you just talk a little bit more about like how hard it is to prepare for the tournament when you really only get 2 days to prepare for up to 4 teams?
Yeah. Well, first of all, you have to be seeded well, right? That's the key. So you have to have a good non-conference season, then you have to have a great conference season to get that high seed. Because if you don't get a high seed, you're going to be playing those North Carolinas and Dukes early, right? And the success rate's probably not as great as if you're, a lower seed, a 2, a 1, a 2, a 3. So if you're in those positions, obviously, you're playing mid-majors or lower major schools, you have a chance for the matchups to play in your favor a little bit. So that's the first thing. You have to have a great regular season so you can make a run in the tournament. And then once you get there, like you said, we can play. Our style of play is probably conducive, we believe, to having postseason success. And the way we scout and the way we have connections in the basketball world, we're able to flip the switch real quick and be able to scout our opponents and be able to put a game plan quickly. So we have confidence in being able to do that. But the whole key to everything is, like you said earlier, is matchups. And how do you get good matchups? You have a great regular season. You have a great non-conference season. You have a great conference season, and that puts you in position to have a deep run in the tournament.
How much does your individual, and not just you, the rest of the staff, how much does your individual connections with other coaching staffs, other coaches in the industry help you when it comes to scouting come tournament time?
Yeah, all of our coaching staff is now adding DK, Coach Derek Kellogg, has been around for a while. We have an experienced coaching staff, Coach Murph, Coach Vanderloo. Jalen's a little younger in the game, but he adds a lot too. But being myself, I've coached 7 different Division I schools, and so now you have all those staff members that you worked with, head coaches, assistant coaches, basketball ops that are kind of spread out in different leagues all over the place. So you can get a pretty good idea really quickly when you have those kind of connections, that kind of network that I've been so lucky to have because the people that have hired me and the staffs I worked for.
We're just a few minutes away from the release of the Big East schedule. For fans like us, obviously that's a big deal. We pay attention to stuff like that. How much does the coaching staff kind of sit around and wait for the schedule to come out, or is this something that gets addressed when the season gets closer?
Well, we wait around because we have to make our plans of how the schedule sits. If we have 2 games out east, are we going to stay out east? Are we coming back? So it has a little bit to do with planning and being able to plan our practices and plan our how we handle our trips a little bit. But other than that, we know with the Big East, you play a true round robin. So we know we're going to play everybody twice. The other leagues, it's probably going to it's a little bit different when they play balance our offset schedules. With us, we play everybody twice, so we know we're going to get everybody twice. So,
Do you like that approach?
I like the true round robin. Yes, sir.
Okay.
I think that's the best way. I mean, you get a true champion, really. I coached in the SEC. I coached in the Mountain West, where they don't have true round robin, and sometimes they try to make the matchups right, according to the top heavy and what they believe will be the top heavy and the bottom of the league. But it doesn't always play out that way. Someone surprises somebody. So a team that may only play Kentucky, like the SEC, may play Kentucky once, have a season where they've outperformed, and they only played Kentucky once, and they have a chance to win a regular season title. So the true round robin gives you a true champion.
From that scheduling perspective, and there may not be an answer to this question, the other top end teams in the league, would you rather play them at home first or on the road first and finish up with them at home?
I'd rather probably finish up, if you ask me, probably finish up with them at home, just because hopefully we're in position to win a regular season championship at that time. And it's always good to be able to win a regular season championship in front of your home court.
You mentioned it. You've only been here a few years. This has been a common question that keeps coming up throughout these. You can't say "Let It Fly" Sports Bar. That's a little biased. Do you have a favorite haunt that you like to stop by and eat at?
Oh, I mean, there's a number of great places here. I mean, if you're going for steak, I like Jake Gilbert's 801, Mahogany.
Okay.
Those are all great spots. We take recruits there quite a bit. We'll do Jay Gilbert's this weekend with a recruit, actually. So those are great spots. Barrett's a great lunch spot. So there's a bunch of great spots in town. I didn't name them all, but I'd love to give a shout out to all of them. But
Sure.
I like Shucks. Shucks is great. So there's great dining, great restaurants in Omaha.
You mentioned it. You're going to be handling some recruiting this weekend. There's 2 guys that are currently in the boat for this recruiting class. Do you guys have a number for you would like the 25-24 class to be?
We'll probably take one more high school kid and then probably see what happens and develops at the end of the year as far as the transfer portal and see what happens there. We don't want to be in a position where we're too young. College basketball is getting older, not younger. So we'll probably, but we also don't want to miss on the way our program's built, Creighton's built. It's through development, through retention of younger guys, and they get better in our program throughout the years. So just try to find that healthy mix. But we'll probably add one more young guy. We'll give us 3 freshmen, and then we'll probably see where our roster lies at the end of the year and see if there's any holes, and we'll probably try to fix it for the transfer.
Coach, I'm kind of glad you brought up that statement about college basketball getting older, not younger. Would you argue that that's a pretty recent phenomenon, especially across like the Power 6 schools versus where it was, 6 years ago?
Yeah, you have a combination of 2 things happening. You have NIL and transfer portal. You have no penalty for transferring. So basically, it's allowed Power 6 or Power 5, whatever you want to look at it, being able to pick off mid-major schools really and lower major schools, the kids that have had a lot of success. It's easier to see, with all the analytics out there and all the video out there, it's easy to sit back like we did with Stephen Ashworth, sit back and say, okay, that kid shot 46% from 3. Look at his A and B versus A-B talent teams. He had a 110 offensive rating. How did he do against San Diego State? He torched them for 20 points. Like, it's easy. You already know what you're getting, really. So whether if you're a Power 6 program and you look at it, and a kid like Stephen Ashworth comes in the portal, or Baylor Sharman, that's South Dakota State was the same way. You're not taking as big as risk. Every high school kid you bring, I don't care if he's a McDonald's All-American, you're gambling, you're rolling the dice a little bit. Here, you already know what you're going to probably get.
Right.
You're probably going to get that sort of inline production. I mean, there's differences, obviously, when you go day-to-day in the Big East versus like a Mountain West conference or a Summit League conference. But you kind of have a good idea what you're getting and how he's going to fit with your team, as long as you do your character background on each one of those kids too.
That's Creighton assistant coach Ryan Miller. Coach, thank you very much for your time. We'll catch up with you in a few weeks.
Oh,
thank you very much.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
You've been listening to the Roll Jays podcast. We'll be back next week. More players, more coaches, more Creighton coverage right here on the Roll Jays podcast, brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing.